Okay, look at this Penang, paper 1, 2020, question number 4. So, which of the following ticker tape shows an object move at a constant acceleration? So, this is A. Look at that. So, this is the direction of motion. Means that to the, so it means that the right side is the first dot. This is B. Okay, look at the diagram. This is C. Which one is having constant acceleration? This is D. So you can see that the spacing of the dots are not the same. Okay, before we look at the answer, come let us discuss what does it mean by acceleration. So first thing you need to memorize the formula. So acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity divided by time. So when the object is having constant acceleration, so the value of A should be positive. It means that A more than 0. If A is more than 0, means that the value of A is positive. So we say that the object is having acceleration. Okay, accelerate. So means that the object memecut. And then if let's say the value of A is negative, means that A is less than 0. So we said that the object is having deceleration. Deceleration. Alright. But if let's say the object, the acceleration is equal 0, so means that the object is not having acceleration at all. So A0 only can be achieved in two conditions. Number one is when the object is at rest or when the object is stationary. Kan? And then another one is if the object is moving at a constant velocity. Then only the acceleration is 0. Why like that? See? Here, right? Since we are using this formula, if let's say the final velocity is the same as the initial velocity, so it means that A will be 0. Alright, so if the object is moving in a constant velocity, so this one will be the same. What I mean is, if let's say the final velocity is equal to 10 meter per second, initial velocity also 10 meter per second, so means that U and V are the same. So it will be having constant zero acceleration. Ataupun if let's say the object is stationary where U sama dengan 0, final velocity also equals 0, hence the acceleration will still 0. So remember that, nah? Okay, remember that. Okay, so there are two conditions where A equal to 0, right? Now, the question asking about constant acceleration. Constant acceleration, so we look at the value of A more than 0. When will that happen? Okay, so A will be more than 0 if V is more than U. Alright, if V is more than U, let's say V is 20, U is 10. Alright, so let's say T is 2, right? So 20 minus 10 is 10. 10 divided by 2 will be 5. So it means that the object is having constant acceleration. Now, if let's say U bigger than V bigger than U, so it means that the final displacement, let's say I put S2, S2, the displacement should be more than the initial displacement. So it means that the displacement should be increases. Okay, now we look at the tape chart, just ticker tape. So here, alright, so can see now the distance between the dots. So this is the displacement. Let's say I put here as S1, and then this one is the last point, right? So last dot, so this is S2. So you can see that S1 now is the same as S2. So we say that V equal to U. So it means that now the object is having acceleration equals 0. Alright, 0 meter per second per second. So A should not be the answer. Now we look at B. Because we are looking at constant acceleration. So now for B, since the arrow is to the right, so it means that the right side will be the starting or the initial dot. Okay, and then the left side will be the end, the last dot. Alright, so if you want to determine the initial displacement, okay, look at the right side. So this is your S1 and this is your final displacement S2, and you can see that the displacement increase. So here kan nampak bertambah, right? The distance here getting more. So you can see that the displacement increases. So we can say that now V is bigger than U. So this is what we call as acceleration more than 0. Alright, so it means that the answer now is B. Okay, now look at C. What can you say about the acceleration of the object? Obvious kan, you can see that the initial displacement is bigger compared to the final displacement. So if let's say S1 is bigger compared to S2, so we say that V is smaller compared to initial velocity. So in this case, for C, this is where the object is having A smaller than 0. So this is where the object is having constant deceleration. C will be constant deceleration. Okay. What about D? If you are asked to define the motion of this object, so can see that now, remember this is the starting point and then this is the end, and can see that the distance between the dot is getting lebih panjang, then after that is getting smaller. See here, getting smaller and smaller. So we say that the object is having, first this part is having increase in velocity, means that here accelerate, and then here can see that the displacement getting smaller, so this one is decrease in velocity, so here is decelerate, means that the first part is A more than 0, second part is A smaller than 0. Okay, is there any point where A equals 0? No, because the object did not stop, right? Or maybe constant velocity, right? Okay, so hopefully this can help you to understand better. Okay, please comment down below if you have any question. Alright, bye-bye.